Welcome to Reality Trifecta. I am your host, coming to you live in my office. Today, we are talking about the season premiere of Survivor 49. It was a very interesting premiere. It's slow, it's steady. We're not to the later portions of the game yet, but it will get entertaining soon. It's still the fun old Survivor that we know and love. So let's talk about the contestants. You got the Red Tribe consisting of Joanne, Nate, Rizzo, Sage, Savannah, and Shannon. Shannon, she's very peaceful, she's trying to bring the positive energy to the Red Tribe. Yuli, I think the tribe is called. She is helping people meditate when the day starts so that they could have a great day moving forward, which is something that's good to have, but in the game, you can think that it's a little bizarre, but maybe it could help you with tribe morale. Then you got Savannah, who I feel like thinks very logically. She is a very perceptive human being that will help her out in the long run. Most of the things that she has said, I 100% agreed with. Then you got Sage. She is very authentic. She has zero filter, and she loves poop, apparently. She does. She loves poop. And that's what she decides to talk about whenever it's on her mind. It's good to have a hyperfixation. It's interesting to have poop as in hyperfixation to talk about. I'm getting Carolyn vibes from her from Survivor 44. That's what she's coming off as. Definitely someone to keep an eye on for good entertaining television. Then you got Rizzo, the man, the myth, the legend, the Rizzo. No, fuck. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry, I cursed. Oh my god. I misspelled that. I had something prepared. Let me start over again. The man, the myth, the legend, Rizgod, Rizgod baby. I really expected Rizzo to be very cringe going into the season because he was referring to himself as a Riz God. But when I listened to his preseason interviews, he comes off as a really interesting, likable person. You had him compete in the challenge to get a flint and machete and a pot for his tribe. He was no good with the puzzle, but he was copying off of Alex's puzzle so that he can do his. And once he just got done his puzzle, there was a map that had X marks the spot for him to find a pirate ship wheel so that he could raise the flag so that he could win the challenge. And so it became very inspiring. He is very passionate about why he's playing the game and who he's doing it for. So that's very admirable. Was that the right word? Admiral? That's something to admire. So Rizgod, Rizgod baby. There. I finally cleared the air on that. Then you got Nate, who is a film producer. He looks calm, cool, and collective. He is also, like Savannah, a good thinker. He says things that I definitely agree with when it comes to perceiving people in the game. I also like the fact that people had a very positive reaction when Nate said that his first PA job was working for Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. So, Spider-Man 2 gang, let's go. I'm starting to like the Red Tribe for that. Then you have Jawan. I feel like he is coming into this game like he has something to prove. I think he was the one that said Survivor is like act one of a horror film where you're running away from the monster. Well, truthfully, a good friend of mine said that it is usually act two when the monster is chasing after you in a horror film. Unless it's a low budget horror movie, then you can have a monster chasing that. He's really passionate. Like, he really wanted to prove something, like I said. With the fire, he did get a little upset trying to set up the fire, which did sway Savannah's decision to trust Nate more than him. So, that's kind of a little detrimental. Then you have the Yellow Tribe. You have Jason, who is the alternate of the season. He is very open about being an alternate, and a lot of people know about it. And honestly, I feel like the more you let people know about things, the better. Being an alternate, if you go and make it to the finale, that's a good story to have. You have people like Austin, who was an alternate that ended up finishing second in Survivor 45. But there is a long history of alternates of the show finding really good success. Then you have Christina, who has made me laugh throughout the episode that she's not really that much of an outdoorsy human being. She is afraid of birds. Honestly, Christina really had me on my back laughing when I was watching her segment. But maybe this season will show her having a redemption arc, that there's a lot of personal growth as to who she is, being a good personality for the show, that she starts to get used to the outdoors. Then you have Matt, one of the oldest contestants of this season. He carries suitcases at the airport for a living. And I like him for one specific reason. He is also a Boy Scout. So, once a scout, always a scout. And I appreciate that. I like his one segment where he's like, have any of these people stayed outside? Have they ever slept outside? That's the thing. So Steven, who we'll get to in a minute, he's perceiving Matt to be this elderly human being who is wise, and he might know a lot of things. He says he probably knows 100 other things, and he is dying to say what he knows or do what he knows. And he ends up getting the Yellow Tribe the fire. So, good on his end. MC, next is MC. We have her being the most physical person on the tribe. They definitely need her for challenges. And it turns out she is a huge fan of the new era. She prefers new era Survivor more than old era Survivor. She says, Survivor is still going on. You still have the new era. Obviously, that's still working out. So, MC should be an interesting player. Then you have Sophie S. I'm not really, sure about Sophie S yet, but if I watched more episodes, I feel like I will have a concrete opinion about her. Then you have Steven. He is the most social geek that you'll ever meet. he will be very social. Like, he's happy-go-lucky. He's very positive. But I hope that that kind of stuff doesn't really bite him in the butt in the long term for this game. Then you have the Blue Tribe consisting of Alex, Annie, Jake, Jeremiah, Nicole, and Sophie B. You have Alex. He was very interesting. I feel like he was the highlight of the episode. Him alongside Jake, where they're starting to have a bromance. I love how Jake was, like, trying to make it clear that, like, no, we're not trying to be partners or anything. Like, not in a romantic sense. We're just bros, you know? Like, we're trying to hang out. You know what I mean? You get what I'm putting down? Alex, he's also trying to talk to Annie, and he's saying to her, you know what you remind me of? And Annie's like saying, don't call me mom, don't call me mom. And you can tell Alex was doing everything he could not to explicitly say mom. But in his confessional, he says that his boss is literally a grandmother figure, and Annie reminds him of that. What are they gonna do with these two throughout the entire season? But don't get me wrong, I do love Jake. Him going into this season, his story is very, very touching. It's very emotional, and it's something to root for in a hero for Survivor. It's inspiration. Annie, never really saw her do much except to, like, talk to Alex about possibly working together between the two. Then you have Jeremiah, who is also a good, like, personality. So far, he's getting his social game up and running in a good way. He does have a very, and I mean very, addictive laugh. You laugh along with him whenever he does. Then you have Nicole, who unfortunately was the first person voted out of the game. They did everything they could to win the challenge. But what I did not get, and I still feel a bit queasy after watching it, was Nicole throwing up before Tribal Council. The show did not do a trigger warning whatsoever. I've watched a lot of Big Brother. Not Big Brother. The Biggest Loser. I've watched a lot of Biggest Loser growing up these past couple years, and I've seen people throw up whenever there is no trigger warning. But I used to find throw up funny for some reason. But when I realized that, like, yeah, people are dealing with something when they do throw up, then it's kind of not really that funny. Then you have Sophie B. She is like the third person in the 4-person alliance that Alex, Jake, Jeremiah, and Sophie have. They declared it a majority in a tribe of 6 people. I don't know how Annie is going to outplay that. She really needs to get her social game up and running if she is going to be in the outs. Like, she could get unanimously, like, voted out of the game if that were the case. Hopefully they could win a few challenges and it can give her enough time to speak to other people. So, those are all the contestants for the game so far. The overall episode, it's what you expect from a Survivor premiere. There's an opening challenge, and then there's other people from the losing tribes competing in a challenge to get the proper necessities that the tribe needs. So there's that. Then you get introduced to like all these characters. You're trying to get a feel as to who they are, at least for most of them. Some, like, not really. Maybe in the next few episodes you learn more about them. And yeah, that's like my overall opinion of this premiere. I hope that it does get better moving forward. And I hope Nicole is doing well. They are a part of the first person voted out club. Unfortunately, though, it's not really that much of a bad thing because there are a lot of, like, you know, well-known first boots of Survivor. And Nicole really, like, did stand it out. They had a really good game if they were, like, given the chance to keep playing. Nicole was very perceptive when she's observing other contestants, which I also agree with her thinking. Like, she described everybody at Tribal Council, and she was, like, given something simple. And she's like, thanks, guys. So, there's that. That is all I have to say for today. Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. It means the world. I've always wanted to do something like this, and I feel like I'm now finally free in my life to do something like this. We will be doing more of these in the future, and I hope to see you guys, and I hope you all listen another time. We are also going to be recapping The Amazing Race, and when Big Brother 27 is done, we will do an overall review of that season. Does that sound good? Good. I hope you guys have a great day. This is Reality Trifecta. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to keep listening to this show. And follow us on X or Twitter or whatever you call it. You will also get updates as to whenever shows are coming on. And we will keep you all posted. Thank you all so much for listening and have a great day.